You have good memories of him. I mean, you still remember him bringing those Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, Dunkin' Donuts are great. You know, I really love Dunkin' Donuts. Well, maybe not now, but I used to like them quite a lot, you know. So, I mean, that is great. Of course, a relationship between a father and a child requires at least three things, you know. The constancy of the contact, the frequency of the contact, as well as a favorable experience. But it's interesting that actually constancy, of course, we mean that, you know, when you always see your father, he's always the same person, right? Doesn't change or doesn't mutate from this personality and adopt a different personality. He's always the same person. So there's a constancy about their personality, about the way they project themselves. Now notice that constancy has nothing to do with the length of time that they spend with you, but just the fact that, you know, they present that, you know, immutable personality to you. And the second aspect is the aspect of frequency, where we basically look at how often does the contact occur. Again, here we're not looking about the length of, but we're just saying the frequency, how often, you know. Does it happen twice a month, or 4 times a month, or, you know, every day? You know, the frequency, just the rate of contact that takes place, you know, it's frequency, that's very important. And then the other part is the favorable experience. Favorable experience meaning that, okay, as a result of the contact that you make with him, does it result in a favorable experience? Right? And in your case, definitely we see some examples of that, like Dunkin' Donuts. And you do say that, you know, he was a nice guy, but it was a bit of a weird relationship in that it was hard to talk about him being a nice person, you know. And so from that point of view, I kind of get a sense that your mother may have had a lot to do with that, right? Because sometimes some mothers, when they don't have a good relationship with the father, they will actually share that with the children, you know. And sometimes I don't know if that's good or bad, right? But I think what's important is you want to kind of divorce yourself out of the situation and basically just be a little bit objective and look at things that he has done. You said that when you called your dad, you actually got his phone number from White Pages, and my question was, why didn't your mother give you the phone number of your dad? Could this be that maybe the relationship between your dad and mom had deteriorated to a point that, you know, she didn't even want to have anything to do with him? And this may actually influence your perception of him, you know. And I think as a kid, it's very important that you should kind of divorce yourself from whatever issues that exist between parents. They are the one who know the truth. Like your mother knows the truth, your father knows the truth, but you will never know the truth. You'll only be told that, well, you know, this person is a loser, or is a womanizer, or left me for other women, whatever the case may be. But is that really the truth? We don't know, and we will never know. And I think, you know, usually if people, and even you, when you become an adult, when you have children, you don't, when you find a you don't want to tell them. It is interesting that latest research shows that, you know, the most important thing in a father-child relationship is not merely the amount of time that they spend together, but is actually the quality of the relationship. So, for example, things that they do together, some shared activities, and also having some casual time together, you know, where they relax when there's nothing serious, you know, that sort of stuff, as well as sharing ideas and experiences from the father, for example. That's very important. But I think and of course also it does affect your relationship with guys, but I think that it only affects them in terms of how he relates to your mother, right? Because the only school where you learn gender relations is your mother and father. See how they interact, and that could actually affect you with respect to fathers in terms of, I mean, to reflects to how you relate to other guys in terms of how he related or she related to him. You know, I can see it that way because it's a modeling, right? You're looking at that as an example. So if the example is not great, then you're not going to have a lot of confidence in terms of gender relations, that sort of stuff.